Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, it's Friday, Friday's request day. Today's map's being voted in by the BonBon buddies over on Patreon. It's a creator request, and not only that, it's one of these.
It's the first map.
Yes, it's the creator's first map. It's actually surprisingly good, especially considering it's also a Snowfall map, which usually are a little bit disappointing because there's so few of them. But we've got a good one, so buckle up, get ready, sit back and get ready to hit that like button, because hitting the like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people, and that's we grow a little bit more every single day, which is a good thing, so thanks for your support. Today's map is Alyeska, a Snowfall map by AlaskanMan. Okay, the thumbnail is the nighttime view. Oh, come on guys, it's simple to take a thumbnail. There's your start square. We've got a river running through it, splitting three ways. Nice. Resources, it looks like clouds, but I would say definitely usable. Very happy with that, thank you. And off to the workshop. Now, it is not only a Snowfall map, it's a mass transit map. You'll need a few trees, the Vochitum Frost or Vuchitum Frost or Vacachum Frost. By Hadith is the winter theme. It's the best winter theme, and because I completely forgot, we're using the Springwood LUT today. I forgot to change it, I'm sorry. Okay, let's crack on and have a little look at today's map, shall we? Well, the roads are snowy. Very snowy. Yes, it's a Snowfall map. This is one of those bonuses that you get when you buy the DLC. It's kind of has that magical fairy tale look about it that you can't quite match by using the trick, the Snowfall trick that you can see in one of my tutorials. But there you go. You pay your money, you get something better, and this is what you get. This is an interesting intersection here because you can only access it from the side of the actual highway. Now, don't worry, that's not a bad thing. It's not a broken thing. It's a design thing. Not something that I personally would have done. I would have shortcutted this highway up that route, personally. That doesn't mean I'm right. It doesn't mean AlaskanMan is wrong. What it does mean is that that highway, that shortcut, cuts through that way, all on its own, all on its merry way, down there. And we can now access this roundabout down this way. Now, this roundabout has got a standing stone in the middle. That's a little bit of detailing. There's not too much detailing on this map, but there is a little bit here and there. And the traffic, well, it's kind of stopped starting because of this shortcut to avoid the roundabout. I wouldn't have bothered with that one, or maybe gone up to 3 lanes on the roundabout at that point to just usher the traffic through just that short way. Just a thought. So yes, sometimes putting in an extra intersection can slow things down more rather than speed things up. So now let's cruise across the environment. It's beautiful, isn't it? Snowfall maps are very pretty. They don't appeal to me personally. I don't come from a snowy part of the world. I don't go to snowy parts of the world for holidays or anything like that. Little elevated bridge here because of dry riverbeds, which you can see when snow melt comes. That would make a lot of sense. Very cool. Very cool. Very cold even. So yes, it doesn't appeal to me. Doesn't appeal to a lot. But some of you love this. And some of you may not actually love it, but fancy having a go at it, having seen a map that is as polished as today's. What we got here, another perfect bridge, basically, actually. Yeah, today's map, not perfect, today's map, but it's definitely, in the realms of Snowfall, it's a good map. There's your start square, plenty of flat build playing going on around there. And if we have a look down here, we've got today's asset of the day, and it's Jennie homes.Duplex by AltTarGz. Now, unfortunately, because of Snowfall, you've got snow all over the roofs and the gardens and the driveways. You can't really see it at its best. Unfortunately, that's a small price you have to pay, and AltTarGz got a little bit unlucky by drawing the short straw of being on today's show. But it's still a lovely, you can still see it's a lovely little asset. And shall we do a factoid? Because factoids, why not? Actors gather at the Drury Lane Theatre on the 12th night to cut the Baddeley cake and drink punch. The cake and punch are supplied under the terms of Robert Baddeley's will. And if you don't know who Robert Baddeley was or is, or not certainly is because it's his will, I'm guessing he's passed. Yeah, that's what Wikipedia's for. You don't come here for that information, do you? Anyway, there you go. Jennie, homes.Duplex by AltTarGz. That's today's asset of the day. Very snowy, very nice. And let's see where we can go with these roads. Let's go back to our road, which is over here. Now, we can take a little left down here onto this, and this is the dirt track, but snowed over dirt track. And once again, very scenic. Now, the only major problem with today's map, I would suggest, is with the roads, it's all national highways. No, well, we've got a little bit of a two lane highways, but it's all national roads. And I don't think we're going to carry a huge weight of traffic along them. And we've got a huge, potentially huge build plane. So for me, I think we're just underserving the area with the roads. Now this is odd. Where the hell are you lot going? I know what's down here and I do not know what is... Oh, this is route finding at its best. Well done, route finding at its best. Going down here to do a little turnaround and now we're just going back. Perhaps it's something scenic down there we want to take in. I wanted to come down here just to show you this little bridge. I'm not really sure why we have the bridge. I'm glad it's here because it gave me something to look at in what's a fairly empty map. And a good standard bridge, and a little bit of a key there as well, and a dead end also. I can't moan about it. I'm just, yeah, I'm not sure what it's doing, but I'm glad it's there. Right, back down to our start square intersection roundabout with the standing stone, and we'll keep going. We're going to go a bit more heights because we don't want to be dragging along too much because there's not really too much to see. The snowfall, that's the other thing with snow, it hides a whole host of interesting features. Trees look so pretty with the snow on them. It looks so pretty. Now we've got a little bit of slowed traffic here, stop start traffic again, and it's tailing back a little bit. We've got a level crossing there, which once again could slow your traffic up a little bit more. So it's all lending itself to be a map for a smaller build. But we've got a huge amount to build plane, which tells me that I want to do a big city. It's kind of, well, AlaskanMan clearly has some affiliation with Alaska, whether or not they live there or were brought up there or just like Alaska, like looking at pictures of it. And Alyeska, which is the name of the map, apparently there is a town in Alaska, it says in the description, called Alyeska. And but this isn't a take on the real place, even though it looks like it could well be. To me, it does look like a worked terrain party map to me, and it could well be. But there's no nods to it. There's no saying, hey, this is the terrain map of Anchorage or anything like that. It is just a really nice flattish map with lots of detailing in terms of the terrain. Put the terrain on here just to have a little look and make sure that the rail lines aren't going up and down hills too much. And if you look here, it's pretty flat. There you can see there are terrain lines here and there. And where we do have some steep hilly bits, like here, we've gone elevated to keep it flat. That is credit where it's due, as they say. So yes, basing this on Alaska, I guess. And there are no huge mega cities in Alaska. So I'm suggesting maybe it is a small city build. Show you, you've got a little railway station here with a key put in there to work as a station platform. I like that. That's a great idea. I wish I'd thought of that. I had plans for something like that on Merrickstowe, but I was too dumb. I was too clever with other things and not clever enough. Anyway, the rail just wends itself across the landscape. Doesn't really do too much. Doesn't need to do too much. Fairly straight in places, following a sensible line. And we're going to be relying on this a lot, I would suggest, what with there being no major highways going across the map. And when we get to the shipping and the air routes, I think you will realise that this is definitely going to be a key feature in your map. The rail, my God, it's going to carry so much weight. You might want to put a second line in alongside it just to take the weight, maybe. Well, I'm sure you'll work something out. I'm also going to pop something into the map myself a little bit later on. You'll see, because I feel that this map needs that as well. But anyway, Alyeska, let's head off and do an intermission, shall we, just for now.
Are you bored with the standard vanilla bridges? Have you seen those lovely custom bridges but don't know how to use them? Ooh, very nice. Then you need the Beginner's Guide to Custom Bridges by BonBonB. Click the information button below.
And so we're back to Alyeska, the Snowfall map by AlaskanMan. There's no shipping routes, there are no air routes. So it's all road and rail, and we've seen what limits there are to that already. Let's have a look at the water flow. Now, we've got plenty of rivers, they're all pretty shallow and all fairly slow moving, which means if you draw from them, they're going to empty pretty quickly. But you're going to have to draw or pump into them, or both, unless you're using like all the custom assets and things. But we pretend that you don't on this show, because this show is for everybody. So if you've got the answer, if you've got the solutions yourself, this is your start square, this is all you've got to work with. Yeah, if you've got your own custom asset solution, great. If you're playing vanilla, this is basically going to empty in no time. And, well, it's just not going to look very good, is it? Anyways, so I do have a bit of a solution for that, which we will find in a minute. What more can we look at first? Let's have a look at some trees. Or shall we have a look up here? Here, we've got a bit of a valley going on here, yeah? What I think we can do is we can pop a dam across there. Something like about that. Once again, put more thoughts and attention into how you put your dams down. Yeah, for me, that'll do. We'll just let that fill up on its own. Have a look at it at the end of today's show. That'll give us a bigger source of water to draw from. It's not nowhere near the start square, but it's just a thought. You know, especially if you are playing with the mods and unlocking tiles. Trees. Now, they are in nice clusters, and they are mostly in valleys and down by the rivers, and they make a lot of sense to me. This is a detailing point, and so when I give an extra star for detailing, you say, what detailing? There was nothing. Well, there were. There were some well thought out trees, and believable trees as well, for that matter. The roads are pretty good, so there's a point there. This little village down here, this little conurbation, abandoned. I like the station, I think it's a good idea, particularly like we've got the cemetery, good use of that, and the little houses. This, however, this is a bit of a down point, because the jetty, look how high it is. You can never get up onto that jetty without a ladder or parking and jumping onto your car's roof. And it's really simple with Move It. Click that, knock it down a few notches, there we go, sorted, fixed. Now that is better. Instantly, simple. It's a simple fix, and it's little things like that. If you're bordering on a 5th star, that can cost you earning the 5th star for your map. Having said that, that's yeah, we're not quite at 5-star territories, but just in case you're wondering, hey, why didn't you give 5 stars to a particular map? There are little issues like that can cost a map. Anyway, what do you think of this map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Find the thumbnail point here. Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Right, okay, I think aesthetically this is a rather nice map. It's not just that it's a snowfall map, that does obviously make it look prettier anyway. But the overall feel for the map, the valleys, the way that the erosion has worked as well, I think the whole thing works really nicely, and the rivers are mostly believable. 4 stars. Detailing across the whole is pretty good. Not outstanding, but pretty good. And all told, it definitely does deserve a 4th star. Gameplay potential, my issues here, the potential for a huge city, but we can't have a huge city because of the traffic. There's not going to be enough in the way of highway capacity or rail capacity, and of course water is going to be an issue. We can't have a huge city, and it's begging for a huge city on this map. So I'm going to give it 3 stars because it's very playable if you're going to build a small town. I feel which deserves a bit more. So Alyeska, a Snowfall map by AlaskanMan, just a bit more water flow and we would be very much in business. Now speaking of water flow, did we or did we not put down a dam? This is what it looks like when it's filled up. It's not quite ready to produce electricity. That is something that you can just tinker about with a little bit more terrain work. And we could be very much in business for that. But yeah, that's what it would look like. It's a little bit away from the start square, but definitely something that you maybe just dam up a valley a bit closer to home. But that for me is definitely a solution that maybe could have been included. Right, Alyeska, Snowfall map by AlaskanMan. Good work indeed. And for a first map, superb, my friends. Well done. Well, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking and for subscribing, and for joining me for snow during the summer. Well, it's summer here in the Northern Hemisphere, so if you're in Aussie or Kiwi or in South Africa or any of the other great nations in the Southern Hemisphere, Peru, I don't know, then well, thank you for joining me as well. Let me know in the comments if you're from the Southern Hemisphere. I would love to know. I'll catch you tomorrow for another map in the What's Map series.